Hello and welcome to Tribal Council number 17 with the KALINAGO tribe. We're down to the final four. And after tonight, we'll be down to the final three. So first, I'm going to head to Joshua. So Joshua, congratulations on winning immunity. I'm sure you all loved the challenge very, very much. But that marks, I believe, 3 in a row immunity challenge wins for you. How does that make you feel going into the final 3?
It's making me feel like I'm just praying that this final three is gonna stop there and it's not gonna keep going to 2, because a huge emotional breakdown will be caused if we have to do another tribal council as well. So yeah.
Okay. So then I guess, like, if there is another challenge, if there is another tribal, how does that make you feel going into the next challenge?
I'm just trying to not think of it as a possibility, but it's like how I feel about it is that if it comes up, then well, I'm just feeling like it's just any other round, and it's just, I guess, the 3 people that are there are then just going to go into it and then just try and win again, and then whatever happens happens. The final 3 tribal councils is very different to the other ones in terms of power structures, so it's definitely a lot more interesting. But yeah.
Okay, so Brent, the last 2 tribal councils you ended up getting votes. So did you feel like you needed to come in and really win immunity tonight? Or, well, yesterday?
I feel like every time that there's an immunity at this point in the game, I needed to win it, and I put my best effort into this last one, and it just wasn't quite good enough. And so yeah, I really needed it. So I don't know what's gonna happen tonight.
Okay. So Rachel, last round it was a 3-2 vote. So obviously with one other person leaving, that kind of seems like, oh, maybe it's going to be a 3-1 vote again tonight. There's really only 2 options. It's either a 3-1 vote or we're going to fire making. Is there really talks about that? Is, the possibility of fire making really, real tonight?
Yeah, I think it's real. But I also trust the people that I trust, and I think they'll be okay.
Okay, so Dustin, talking about trust, we're getting to the point in the game, obviously, where, everyone's here, they want to win. So at the end of the day, are you going to take people you trust to the end, or are you going to try and take people that you think you can beat?
See, as the hunter once said, you can't think about the end unless you're there. So I'm more focused on just getting to the end. If I win, that's great, but you don't know if you're going to win or not if you're not there. So I'm just mostly focusing on getting there. And hopefully tomorrow it's a final 3, and I survive tonight, and then I'll focus on jury management then when they're asking me questions.
Okay, so then I guess, if tomorrow ends up being a final 2 and another person's booted, tomorrow, how is that going to affect your gameplay tomorrow? Because it's very obvious we've said the end of the game is tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's no shock. Me and Brent can't win challenges. So it's scary because that means more than likely, if it is a final 2, that the person that wins immunity will be deciding between me and one other person if I'm there. So that's scary because, I'd like to think I can win, but my track record shows that the probability is quite low of me winning a final immunity if there is an immunity tomorrow.
So Brent, Dustin kind of touched on it, like that you and him really can't win immunity. So would you kind of use that as a point, like, hey, you should keep me in case we have another challenge?
Yeah, I mean, when we look at it, there's 4 people left, and 2 of us have not won immunity. It doesn't really look great on our track record going forward. If I was using common sense, those would be the people that I'd want to bring with me because it makes my case stronger. But at the end of the day, when the choices are made, they're all done. So we'll see how it goes.
So Rachel, we've talked about immunity a lot these past few questions, and besides Joshua, you're the only other person left in the final 4 that's won an immunity challenge. So if there were another immunity challenge, tomorrow, are you comfortable that you can win if it is a final two and take yourself to the end?
I literally won because I had the longest sock. I mean, besides that, I suck at stacking cards. I suck at flipping cups. I suck at everything. So no, I'm not confident in winning an immunity if there is one. But I'm gonna try my hardest, and hopefully there isn't one.
Okay, so Joshua, I mean, like I touched on earlier, you've won 3 in a row. Are you confident that, basically same question, are you confident that if there's a challenge tomorrow, you're winning?
No, and I think when it comes to this, like, even though I've won 4 challenges, a lot of the challenges are very diverse in skill. So just because I've won previous challenges, that doesn't make me confident. All I'm thinking is if I really look at it, every kind of challenge that really caters to my abilities has probably already happened. So if we're doing another challenge, it could well be something that I just flat out can't do. Like, for example, if we get another challenge, like bottle flipping, something I can't do. So if we was to get another challenge that just is something I just physically can't do, that could put me in a bad spot. And then when people are thinking that trying to take out people that won a lot of challenges, then, well, when you've won 4, target is huge in that kind of world. So, I mean, I don't feel super, super scared about going to another challenge, but, like, I don't feel like I'm definitely going to sit here and win it.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Rachel. So obviously thinking about the end game, regardless of what happens tonight, there's at least 8 people on the jury, which means you need 5 votes to win. I mean, technically you could have 4 if it's, if it's split vote situation, if it's a final 3. But are you really thinking about the votes that you can win and who you can win against at the end? Or is it just kind of like we quoted Hunter tonight, you just have to make it to the end? So is it more who you think you can beat or just trying to get there at this point?
I think counting my own votes is irrelevant unless I'm trying to convince someone else that I'm not going to get the votes. It's more of like counting everybody else's votes and who I think is going to beat me. And who has the votes on their end is more important to me than what votes I have. I'll worry about myself later. The people who are gone, I can't talk to them right now anyways. I'm not going to fix that. So it is what it is for me, and I'm trying to figure out what it is for them.
Okay, so Brent, obviously, talking about jury, talking about the end, we have to bring up jury management. I'd argue that a bunch of the people who have been sent to the jury were not very happy when they left. So how does that, really make you think moving forward? Is this going to be a jury that's going to award the best gameplay? Is this going to be a bitter jury? Is this, that's things to think about moving forward?
Well, I haven't talked to the jury since I left, but everyone that went home so far has been blindsided besides Ivy. So I can imagine there's a lot of bitterness going on over in Ponderosa there. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a bitter jury when it comes down to it. So hopefully when it came to jury management, the people that are at the end didn't piss too many people out on the way out.
Okay, so Joshua, sorry, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I think, how do I explain this? Obviously winning is on everyone's mind. But at the end of the day, would you think that any of the 4 people here deserve to win?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that there's anyone here that's undeserving to win. I'm trying to think of. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the best way to word my answer here. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone here that's undeserving of winning. I think this has been a tough season for everyone. There's been a lot of tough tribal councils, especially in the merge, especially in terms of games I've played. This has been definitely one of the roughest seasons to play. So I don't think anyone here has sat here and doesn't deserve it. Everyone here has competed and everyone here has fought. So I wouldn't take it away from anybody. If you've made it to the end of a season like this, everyone deserves to win. It's ultimately up to the jury to decide who they believe deserves to be crowned the winner, who they want to represent this season ultimately.
Okay, and I guess I'll finish off with Dustin. So how do I word this? I'm like, not. Let me think. So obviously, if one of the 4 of you were to head to the jury tonight, Do you think that this person, whoever it is that gets voted out, would go in kind of open-minded, or are they going to be closed-minded and thinking they already know who they're voting for?
That's a good question. I think if I went out tonight, it depends. Tomorrow, finales tomorrow, either way you cut it, whether it's a final 3 or a final 2. That doesn't give a lot of time for people. If someone feels like they're bitter, most likely tomorrow they'll still be bitter. Whereas, Luke got voted out so long ago that I'm sure his bitterness has lowered. So it really just depends on the person. But with finale being tomorrow, who knows? Like the thought that they have tonight will probably be the thought they have tomorrow. Hope that answered your question.
Yeah, perfect. Does anyone else have anything they want to say? Any last minute pitches or anything before we get to voting? All right, guys, you know the drill. Hands up in the air. And I will call you one by one. I think I called you in regular order last time, or reverse. What did I do? Did I do reverse last time?
I think you did reverse.
Okay, I'll just do straight up this time. You guys can drop your hands if you want. All right, guys. I will get the votes. I have the votes. Obviously, since it is Final Four, there are no powers or idols that can be played. So once the decision is read, it is final, and the person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Let's get to it. First vote. Brent. Second vote. Rachel. It's one vote apiece for Brent and Rachel. Third vote. Brent. Fourth vote. And the 16th person voted out of Power Dominica, and the 8th and final member of our jury, Brent. Brent, if you have anything to say, that would be the time to say it.
Congratulations, you guys, on making it to the final. Rachel, you have my vote going forward because you two are snakes. Fuck you guys. And yeah, I hope Rachel wins. So see you guys.
Brent, the tribe's spoken. It's time for you to go.
Love you.
All right, congratulations. You've all made final tribal council. And tomorrow night, you will plead your case to the jury as why you think you deserve to be the winner of Power Dominica. I'm going to take it off air and we'll talk about starting time and stuff for tomorrow, all right?
All righty.